we're recording this.
Yeah,
there it is.
This is getting recorded.
Yeah, India, Malaysia. I'm currently in Mexico. It's 7 a.m. here, a lot earlier than I like waking up, but here I am. I made it.
Awesome. So Taif is from Malaysia. It's 11 p.m. there, and I'm joining from India. It's 8:40 p.m. here. And where are you from, Jack?
Well, originally I'm from the United States, but I'm just currently in Mexico. Obviously, when you own your own business, you can work from anywhere. So just kind of enjoying those perks now. So I'll be in Mexico for maybe a month or two, maybe 3, kind of as long as we feel like it, basically. But that's the plan. So yeah, like I said, unfortunately, that means me getting up super early for this. And I'm definitely not a morning person, but we'll make it work.
Sorry to disturb you in the morning.
Yes.
Yeah. And the Peter is joining from Slovakia. And guys, just type in where are you from, and so that we can say hi to you and we can begin the session. And those who are joining right now, so if you're into an e-commerce or dropshipping business and you are the person who's struggling to find the right fit product for your e-commerce and the dropship store, then this is a very, very important webinar for you. You must attend start to end. And one more thing I want to announce here: if you're staying till the end, there would be one lucky person who will be winning a gift from my side. Okay, there can be anything. I'm not gonna reveal right now, but yes, if you stick to the webinar till the end, one person, I'll pick it up, or the Jack pick it up, and that person will be winning something from our side. So guys, let's begin. Before we dive into the webinar, I would like to introduce Jack. So Jack, please take a moment and introduce yourself and tell us about what you do and what's your company is about, and your entrepreneur journey. So would you like to, the community wants to hear it from you.
Sure. So I guess this would be a good time to share my screen. It says you have screen sharing disabled because the first slide in my presentation is me. So if I can just get screen sharing, and then I can kind of go into that. But while you're doing that, I'll give a little bit of a brief background. So before I started Keylitic, I was a product consultant, a product research, market research, and product development consultant. I got a double bachelor's in marketing and entrepreneurship, and I got my MBA in business analytics. During that time, right around when I was finishing school and starting my MBA, I learned about product development. I took a class in it, and I instantly fell in love with it. And so from that, I started to learn more about it. At that point, I was doing a little bit of drop shipping. So this was in 2014. So this was before all the gurus and before everyone was really, showing you how easy it was. And so I didn't really know what I was doing. I had a WordPress site, now everyone's using Shopify and some of these other things, of course. Mm-hmm. And I had some success. I was in the fishing space, and I was doing that for a few years. And then I realized that it was kind of hard for me to find trending products or products that were winning. That's kind of the lingo that people use now, is winning products. And so through that process, I started to do some research if there was some kind of software that could show me what was trending and what was hot. And there were a lot of softwares out there, but none that was exactly what I was looking for. And so I said, you know what? Well, if it doesn't exist, why don't I just build it? And I do see someone saying no screen sharing. Yeah, screen sharing is still disabled for me. So if that's something we could possibly fix so that we can dive into the screen share, that would be ideal. I'm not sure if that's something you can do on your end, because like I said, right now I'm unable to share my screen.
I think so. I need to allow you. Let me see.
Also, yes, I do recognize some people here from the Twitter space. So for those of you that liked hearing me talk last time, I'm glad you stuck around and want to hear more of what I have to say. And yes, he does need to allow the screen share. So I'm just waiting on that. I guess in the meantime, to kill some time, if you guys want to tell me in the chat if you guys are drop shipping, if you're Amazon FBA, if you kind of have your own brand, while we're waiting, if you guys just want to let me know a little bit about what you guys are doing. that would be really nice while we wait for this screen share here. Oh, I think it actually is coming in right now. But if you guys still want to let me know in the chat what you guys are doing right now. All right, let's see.
Yeah, Dave wants to know the horror stories. Yeah.
Okay.
Here is the Hollywood
all right, so you guys,
actor. You look like a Hollywood actor, man, Jack.
oh, well, thanks. Yeah. I don't know about that, but that's appreciated. Okay, but you guys can see my screen now, correct? I'm not going to have the chat up as much because, you know, I'm not mind sharing my screen. So, okay. I see someone have a 1-year-old agency, but really loved your insights. Okay, cool. All right. So let's just get going on this though. So I gave you a little bit of a background, but who am I? So I have 8 years in product development, research, consulting. So my background is really interesting because I do have that e-commerce background, but I also have the background of working with large multinational businesses in developing and scaling products, because I can tell you the way that, and I'll use this term loosely, real businesses or large businesses are doing their product research is not through some of the methods that we're going to be talking about today. And so these are some of the things, the negative things, the bad things that I see, that when I see a lot of gurus and people pitching how to do product research is upsetting. But yeah, I've worked with $10+ million businesses to launch products in the food and retail sectors mostly. So these have mostly been in Western markets, and because I'm sworn to NDA, I can't say what these businesses are. But I've worked with a lot of grocery products, so especially in frozen goods. So chances are, if you like sorbet or ice cream, it's possible you've eaten a product or products that I've helped develop at one point. So that's a really cool thing to think about. And I'm also NPDP certified, so the PDMA, which is basically a product development certification. It's a training you have to go through and take a test, and you also have to prove to this group that you've been current in your field. So I'm very qualified to talk about what we're going to be talking about today. So I'm really excited to do that. So these are examples of bad research. So if these are things you guys are doing, I'm not here to shame you, but I'm sure you guys can either just let me know in the chat, the show of hands, or just type if these are things that either you guys do or things you've been told to do, either by a YouTube video, a colleague, or whatever. So these are the 3 things that I see a lot. The first one is people will tell you to spy on your competitors' stores in your ads. That's a big one. I've seen that a lot on YouTube, especially. And there's a lot of softwares that allow people to do that. They say, to find winning products, just look at what other drop shippers or Amazon people are selling that's really hot. Another one is only using a platform-specific research tool. So if you want to do Amazon FBA, only using something like Jungle Scout. And to be clear, I'm not saying that Jungle Scout is a bad tool. I actually think it's a pretty great tool, but only using something like Jungle Scout. And then relying on best-selling lists that are on like Amazon, AliExpress. So I know some of you guys were in Twitter Spaces, and so I talked a bit about that before. But all of these methods focus specifically on sales. So we're going to talk about sales right now. So these are all the different variables that can kind of impact sales volume. And this is not a complete list. This is just things I could fit on a slide. So existing sales volume, SEO optimization, pricing, marketing budget, strategy. I'm not going to read all of them through you. I'm sure you guys can read this. But the question I really want you guys to ask, if you're watching a recording, you can think about it for a couple of seconds, or you guys in the chat. This is the question. And by the way, if you guys are participating in this chat, I will also give you a gift after. Maybe we'll have a sit down and a consult. So I'm going to try to make sure that you guys are really being active in the chat here. So what's the problem with focusing on sales exclusively for product research? So we have someone saying they're being behind the curve. Yes, that is definitely true. Wait a couple more seconds, see if anyone else wants to win the chance to have a sit down with me. It doesn't look like anyone else wants to chime in. So I guess I will say what that answer is. So problem with relying on sales volume is that people are focusing on sales when you should be focusing on demand. And so if you were in the Twitter chat a couple of days ago, you know that when you're focusing on sales, that's a downstream metric. And there's often a lot of inefficiencies between what the market has in the supply and the demand of consumers. And so you can kind of see that's what this first bullet point is talking about here. There's often large gaps in the market. And if you're just relying on what you see other people selling, then that means you're not really talking about or trying to focus in research on what people actually want. So someone just said crystal ball versus evidence. Yeah, that's actually a pretty interesting way to put it. And so the next thing here is you'll never innovate by copying. So you want to be a leader, not a laggard. So the example I gave the other day was Steve Jobs. When they were inventing the computer mouse, that didn't exist yet. And so when they were trying to figure out how do we design something that doesn't exist yet, they weren't, looking at Facebook ads. First of all, Facebook wasn't around, but they weren't looking at competitors' ads, right? They weren't looking at hot sellers lists. They were really trying to be a true innovator. And to be a true innovator, you're never going to copy. And if you want to be a market leader, you want to either be first in a space or early in a space. And if you're copying hot selling products on Amazon or AliExpress, you're never really going to have that first to market advantage. And probably the worst thing here, this last one, this is something that really bothers me, is you're never going to truly understand your customers' pain points, motivations, and goals. So when you're just relying on these tools exclusively, you're not engaging and talking to your customers. So how do you expect to sell to people and engage with people that you're not talking to? And so if you really want to understand what to sell to people, you need to be engaging with these people, right? I think that makes a lot of sense, but I think whether it's just out of laziness or shyness, or they don't want to put in the work, I think a lot of people are really hesitant to be trying to talk to the people they are trying to sell to. And so that's a really big pet peeve of mine. And so just getting back to all of these problems right here, really the problems here, again, you're not talking to your customers and you're relying only on sales, which is relying on things that are already existing in the market, or you're relying on inefficiencies in the market. So these are wise words. I'm not sure who said this, but this is from an anonymous source here. And they said, don't develop an Amazon product, develop a product you can put on Amazon. And so the philosophy of that is a lot of people, for example, if they want to sell something on Amazon, they'll get really focused on the platform and they'll say, okay, I want to find a product that will sell really well on Amazon. And that's not how you want to do it, guys. You want to make sure that you're trying to find trends, because trends are universal. If something is trending, it'll sell on Amazon, it'll sell in your dropshipping store. It'll be something you can actually build a real brand around eventually down the road. And so you want to make sure you're thinking big picture, not, oh, what would be great to dropship? What would be great to sell on Amazon? But what can you develop that will do great on every single platform? So I guess I'll take a quick 10 or 15-second break here to see if anyone has any questions in the chat before we proceed. So if you have any questions to ask me, if you'd like me to go back or talk about something more in depth, now would be the time. And if not, then we will just keep moving on.
Definitely. There are some questions coming in. So Taif is asking being behind the curve, what was that? And crystal balls versus evidence. So could you please go back and just explain whatever things that Taif is asking?
Yeah, so I think they were just really trying to talk about what I was talking about here, where people are really, they're not really taking the time to understand their customer, and they're trying to guess, whereas you want to really rely on evidence. So someone said, isn't trends just evidence extended? Yeah, it really is. I think what's really great about trends, it's the best way to really understand overall demand in a market. So like you have in research terms, we have qualitative and quantitative research. So quantitative research is more of looking at macro trends. And so looking at large sets of data amongst population sets. So, looking at trends, for example, looking at a lot of these other different metrics you can look at, where qualitative is where you're actually taking the time to talk to your customers one-on-one. And so I just want to be very clear when I'm talking about sales being bad. I'm not saying don't use sales ever when you're trying to figure out what product to develop or sell. You should absolutely use sales. Really what the focus of this chat is that if you're only focusing on sales, which most people are doing, you're going to miss these large opportunities in the market. And so make sure you're using evidence, but you're using the full body of evidence. And so that includes things like sales, again, but also more upstream metrics. So things like, what do people actually demand, right? Because before a sale can be generated, there has to be a demand for that sale. But I guess I will proceed here. So what we do at Keylitic, really talking about this demand-based research. So we source product-related keywords from all over the web to see which ones are trending in real time. So our data partners include search engines, retail websites, social media, forums, and more. And so, like I said, what our goal at Keylitic is yes, you can use platforms of things that can help you find sales or try to figure out what things are selling well. But that's only half the battle, right? And so you really want to make sure you're understanding your customers and trends at a macro level. So I guess right now we're going to go into a demo. And before we jump into this demo, I just want to make sure that you guys are really keeping these three things in mind here, because this is kind of the process that we're going to go through. And so the first thing is we want to make sure we're selecting a product or an industry we know about. The reason I always suggest this is because when you're going to be engaging with customers and you want to try to understand them, you never want to try to reinvent the wheel. So you should pick an industry that you have some confidence and some competence in as well, something you really understand and you know about. The next thing, you want to make sure you're learning about trends in that industry. And then of course you want to make sure you're learning about customers. So I'm going to.
So before we dive into
sure.
demo sharing, so one more question is there so that we can answer it and we can go ahead with the demo sharing. So the TEF is again asking, isn't trained just evidence extended?
Yeah, so I was addressing that a little bit earlier where I was saying, yes, in a sense, but you want to make sure that when you have evidence, you have the full body of evidence. And so he's saying, yes, I answered okay. So, but was that, I guess I can answer though, was that sufficient for you guys? Were you happy with that answer? Or would you like me to expand on some of that more before I jump into everything here?
Right. If you have any questions regarding the trend analysis and all that stuff, please ask in the comment section so that we can, answer it right now. So
okay.
All good. So we can move ahead. So
all right.
This is the product that we are going to show you right now. The product name is Keylitic, and over to you, Jack.
Okay, so can you guys see the product right now, or do you see the slideshow? Just let me know what you guys are seeing.
So we are seeing the product right now.
Okay, all right. I see some graphs. Perfect. That means we're exactly where we need to be. Okay, so this is Keylitic. Right now we have two features. There's industry trends and trend explorer. So currently right now, just so you guys know, we're working on a major overhaul and upgrade to everything you're seeing here. So in about a month, a lot of this could look different. So if you're, looking back on this a month later, you say, hey, this looks a lot different. Just know that's because we're working on upgrading everything. But generally what I do when I want to try to, or like if a client contacts us and they want to know what's trending, they pick an industry, right? And so you can see industry trends is a curated database of trends we've already found that are existing. The first question I'll ask, I'm sure people want to know this, is what is this 10 here? There's 10s, there's 9. So every graph you can see has a score. So this is a Keylitic score. And so I have a background in analytics. And basically what we did was we analyzed thousands and thousands, maybe probably hundreds of thousands, honestly, of products. And we tried to see if we could see if there were any variables that could predict the potential demand or the potential for that product essentially to sell well or do well in the market. And so we looked at a series of different variables. I have some more of this in our knowledge base if you guys want to read about that. I won't go too in depth about that now. Basically what we do is we find trends, which finding trends is great, right? So you could find a trend on Google Trends, for example, and it's like, okay, that's great. But now the next question is, well, should I be focusing on this? Should I sell this? How should I know? And so what this Keylitic score does is we look at a bunch of different variables. I mean, that even includes things like the industry you're in. Is that industry a good industry to sell in right now? What's that search volume look like? There's a handful of different metrics we use. And then rank their potential on a 1 to 10 scale. So a 10 being, hey, this looks like a really great opportunity right now. And some of the lower scores, not as much. But I want to be clear because we can have some lower scores if you find something. So if something has a low score, that doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad opportunity. So if you're ever using something like this, never just assume, oh, I only want to look at things that are 7 and higher. But we have some scores that could be a 3 or a 4, for example. And that doesn't necessarily mean the product is bad. It just means we don't have enough sufficient data at this time to make a more substantive opinion on if something like that actually has a great potential. And so whenever you're using any kind of quantitative based metric like this, you should always do additional research and supplement your research upon what we're doing. Because I can tell you, we've had some Keylitic scores that have been like 3s and 4s. But once I've done my own research on that, I've realized, hey, this is actually a really, really great opportunity. But it took just me doing a little bit of independent research on top of that. But going back to industry trends, hold on, I saw a quick question. 10 sounds like 100%. Care to stake your reputation on it? Absolutely. Like I said, I've been doing this for a very long time. And I'm really confident in the predictive models we've built. But again, just because something has a 10 doesn't mean it's going to sell really well for you, right? Because I mean, there's things that impact sales, right? If we go back to that slideshow, how's the marketing? How's your inventory? How are reviews? There's all these things that that really impact sales. So this is basically just a barometer of saying, this is the likelihood that if all of these other variables are correct and you're doing them the right way, that this is a really great opportunity for you to succeed in the market. So it does come down to a little bit of your guys' ability to execute as well. But just going back to industry trends again really quickly, you can see, another question, what range of time? So these are all 5 years. So 1 year is way too short. And that's what most tools, especially if you look at search volume tools, they're only focusing on 1 year. You're never really going to be able to pick up on trends. Like dog boots, for example, this is a 5-year window. So you can see this is obviously a product that's very seasonal, but it's really hot and a great thing to get into right now. But if you're looking at only a 12-month frame, it could look like, oh, it's like really exploding and taking off. But you wouldn't get that full context of, oh, actually, this is a bit more seasonal. So you always want to make sure you're looking at a 5-year range. That's really the optimal window to be looking at. But these are some of the categories or industries we already have stock. So you can see appliances, automotive, baby. I mean, there's really a bunch of different categories you can look at. The one that's most popular for our users, which I get why, is pet supplies. And so that's kind of the example that I'll go with here. So you click pet supplies, you can see all of the different trends and products that are related to trends. And I see someone ask, what about other? So the way that we organize our trends is through Amazon's API. And so sometimes you'll see something that looks like it's in the wrong category. That's really just based on the data that Amazon is feeding us. And so if we have something in the other category, that just means that when we asked Amazon, hey, where would this what product would this category best go in? Amazon wasn't sure. And so for other, we always recommend looking at other, by the way, because it could be a catch-all. So there can be things in every industry. So it's definitely worth taking a look at. But going back.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt you. Guys, if you have any questions, please ask those in the Q&A section, because we have a dedicated Q&A tab. And we'll have a dedicated Q&A session once the demo is over, so that we can answer every questions right there.
Okay, all right. So then, I won't pause too much more because I see there's another question. Just remind me about the categories. Just ask me about that at the end of the presentation, so we'll keep it moving. Okay, sounds great. So dog boots was one that was really interesting to me, especially because where I'm at, it's so cold right now, and I've seen a lot of them out. And I've also noticed about dog boots, if you can see, it's getting more and more popular every year. So it's not something like, yes, it's seasonal, but I don't care if it's seasonal if I see it's something that actually has more demand every single year. And so you're able to drill down into trends. So you can see I've clicked on dog boots right here, and I'm able to look at the graph more in depth. I'm able to get an idea of the search volume, the cost per click, competition. And if I want to see these things on Amazon, Google, I have the ability to do that. Now we get into prepositions. So this is where product research can really come into play. And we're currently in the process of adding, I believe, 7 more prepositions and about 5 more questions. So you're about to be very soon be able to go way more in depth here, but even this is sufficient to give you an idea. So when I'm doing product research, a lot of the things what I want to understand are why people might want to be buying something. And so prepositions can do that. And so this to preposition, for example, I can think about, okay, well, why is someone buying dog boots? And they're telling us the problems they're trying to solve right here, right? We talked about that. You want to make sure you're trying to solve a customer's problem. So people are buying dog boots to prevent licking, to prevent scratching, to stop digging, to protect hardwood floors. So just from this about 5 seconds of research, we just got some amazing use cases of things you can use, of reasons why people are buying dog boots. And I'm going to be honest, none of these were on my list. What I would have been thinking, and you guys just heard me talk about this, what I was thinking of, oh, well, it's cold. And this makes sense because these are trending during, especially in the West, colder months. And so it made sense that, okay, let me market these towards, people who are trying to keep their dog's feet warm. When in reality, it's, oh, you know what, there's medical use cases here. There's things to protect their homes. There's really a lot of different things. And so that's kind of what these different use cases allow you to do here. And with is a great preposition because it allows you to understand what variants or what features that people might be looking for a product. So you can see here, people want dog boots with straps, with zippers, with fur, with a harness. You guys get the gist. So questions. So what questions are people asking about a product, right? So people want to know how to put on, how to make them, how to measure them, how to use them. And so, we have all these different questions that people are asking that you can really use to try to understand, okay, well, what questions are people asking and how can we use all of this information we're seeing here in our marketing, in our messaging, in our packaging, and really make sure we're crossing off some of these checks here. So the last thing we'll get into when you can go into a trend are the forum discussions. And so what you're able to do is click on a thread. And so I already had one open from before that I clicked on. And this is what I talk about with engaging in the community. And if you're not going to engage, at least read what people are talking about. And so this one was about boots for dogs. And so you can see this person asking, has anyone used dog boots? I saw, this brand. And this, they're actually talking about their use case right here and their problem. She's had a problem with her paws at the moment, and I don't like to take her out of the water and mud, trying hard to keep her front paws dry. She's on Prednicare and, she's on something from the vet. So this is a very particular use case, but we're really starting to understand, why someone is using this. And these are people we can engage with to understand. We can talk to them and say, hey, what the current brand you're using, the paws, why are you using that? Are you satisfied with them? What would you like to see different? And really engage in these communities right here. I mean, you can see there's a whole long discussion. And there's a bunch of different, topics that you can go through here. And so, like I said, this is called our just our trend page, basically, where you can kind of go more in depth. And like I said, this page is about to get way more in depth. We're about to provide even more information. Yes, I do see your questions, guys. Like I said, just keep them in the back of your mind. And when we get to the Q&A, which is coming up soon, you guys will have the ability to do that. So once I've locked into a trend that I'm particularly interested in, what I would then do is go to Trend Explorer. And so what Trend Explorer allows you to do is allows you to search a keyword. So for example, you could say dog boots, really whatever you want to do. But I try and build a keyword list of things that I can search, and then we'll basically try and find more trends on top of that. So you can see just 2 searches that I came up with for this example were dog boots, dog shoes. So basically what I did was I hit, dog boots, I hit search here, and then that uses a search. And then we start trying to look for trends for you. Now, if you want to get a search back, you can delete that search. So in theory, right now you have unlimited searches. Pretty soon we are going to be changing to a monthly model. So if you guys want to abuse the search feature, now is the time to get in to do that. It's very expensive for us, but we don't care. Do what you got to do. So, let's click on dog boots. And so you can see what this went and did was it tried to find all different trends that were related to dog boots. And so this can just, give us an idea here of why people might be using it kind of again, but at a deeper level. So we can see, dog boots winter, this kind of goes back into our use case before, dog boots for snow. So, you can kind of click this if you want, and then kind of the same deal. So now you're able to dive deeper into that trend And so really what the goal is you guys want to make sure that once you're finding trends, you're drilling down to those a bit more. You're starting to use these prepositions and these questions in forums to really kind of build a consumer persona profile. So you really understand who you're selling to and what their problems are, and then just making sure you're actually engaging with them. So that's it for the actual demo of the product for now. But just kind of potential use cases. I mean, there's really a lot here, and this isn't even an exhaustive list. So we have people beyond just drop shipping and Amazon FBA, people using us for affiliate marketing or creating YouTube channels if people want to figure out what kind of content they should be creating. Because this is why I'm saying trends are universal, right? If something is popular, it's going to be popular on every platform. You're going to find an audience for it. And so, it's really something that allows you to really understand the market at a macro level. And then you're also, of course, able to research your competitors. So just by doing some of this, like on Trend Explorer, for example, you can enter the brand names of your competitors. You can do things that like globally. So it's not live yet, but we're currently working on it. You're going to be able to use Trend Explorer in most countries, which is probably the #1 request and question we've got is, hey, can I use this in India? Can I use this in country X? The answer is yes. We are working on that right now. It's coming very soon, and we're really excited about it. So the last thing we'll talk about before we get into any questions here are books that I would recommend. If I could only recommend one book that you guys should read about product development in general, it would be Product Planning Essentials. So this was actually the book that I had in college from a professor who's like a mentor to me. This is an older edition. It shouldn't be too expensive. I don't know the exact price, but this is a book that I absolutely recommend. And it goes through really the entire product development process and how you can implement these systems into your organization. So this is absolutely a book I recommend. These are two others that I recommend. I won't get too much into them right now, so we have more time for Q&A. But The Innovator's Dilemma is a really great book as well. And The Personal MBA is a great, just kind of more of a general business book I recommend, which goes into a lot of different business concepts. But that is the presentation on Keylitic. So I guess what I'll do now is we'll kick it back over to Zoom. I'll stop my screen share here for now. And then we can do some Q&A.
Yeah, Jack, thank you for showing us the product. That is very, very awesome thing that you have shown to us. So yeah,
see, I'll start. I see the question here. I'll start to go through them from where we stopped. All right, so we answered the question about are the categories exhaustive at 100% supplied from Amazon? So the answer is yes. So the categories we supply are things that Amazon has that are not Amazon related. So like, for example, Amazon has a Kindle category, but that's not something we use just because we've seen the data there is very limited, especially that we're able, because we collect data from all over the web. It's not just Amazon, but we do use Amazon a lot for our categorization logic. And so if you see a category that we don't have, first of all, you can use Trend Explorer to fill in that gap, to type in things, but also let us know. Send me a DM and say, hey, how come you don't have category or industry X, Y, and Z? And there's no reason we can't add it if there's enough demand for it. No search volume for each long tail keywords. So not right now. If you're interested, what we can do is we have a roadmap, and I can put this on our roadmap. And if enough people ask for it, then it's something we can definitely do. So we talk a lot about being customer focused and centric. We definitely live by that. And so every feature that we add or we develop is something because our customers are asking for it and voting for it. So if that's something that you guys want, I'm sure it's, I'll talk to my development team about that, and I'm sure it's definitely possible. I'm sure it's something we can definitely do. Would like to see some categories on education e-learning with the changes in learning methods post-COVID. Yeah, so with our industry trends feature specifically, right now our focus is more on e-commerce and physical trends. But Trend Explorer can actually allow you to do some more of these searches you'd like for education and e-learning. So if you went to Trend Explorer and typed in education, typed in e-learning, really built a bunch of these different keywords that you have in mind, then we'll try and find trends for you. So absolutely, if that's something you're interested in, give Trend Explorer a ride and see if you could find anything great for you. Let's see here. I'm
So
not seeing.
yeah, please go ahead.
Oh, well, here's actually some more questions just popped up.
Yeah.
Anonymous attendee. So are there any plans to add educational? We kind of answered that. Will you integrate with some AI content writers so that we can use the info to write our blogs? Yeah, so great question. This is another thing that we can definitely do if you have, if there's a large enough demand for it. So this is something we can put in our roadmap as well. Because we've definitely seen a big feature we've had people ask is they want to be able to download their Trend Explorer searches into a CSV file so that they can do further, do their own analyzation of it. And so, but if you guys want us to actually integrate into other apps, it would be really helpful if you just sent us an email. You can email me, Jack at Keylitic, or DM me on Twitter at MarcheseJack or at Keylitic. And really let us know if you're interested in third-party integrations, which third-party integrations that you're interested in. And then it's just a matter of how friendly is their API, how quickly can we deploy it. So we are absolutely interested in any kind of tool like that, as long as enough customers want it. How do you compare with Topic Mojo? I got to be honest, I've never actually heard of Topic Mojo. Let me do a quick Google search of them right now. Usually actually, no, I have heard of them. I'm seeing them right now. Okay. The comparison we get usually the most is something like Exploding Topics. I'm not too sure if maybe you guys have heard them. There's something that's very similar. So we are similar from just looking at Topic Mojo here. We do share some similarities. So like a lot of our industry trends feature, for example, is fairly similar. But from what I remember from them, we provide a lot more of deeper insights on certain trends. We will very soon anyway. And I remember they had like a Twitter section, for example. Is it possible to turn on my camera? Oh, me? I can, hold on one sec. I can do that. I can do a screen share too. Hold on, let me pop this over here. Yeah, so that was just kind of getting myself familiar with them again. Yeah, so we are definitely very similar to this tool, but I think where we really stand out and what we're trying to work on is our Trend Explorer feature, and that's really what's really going to set us apart, because you have the ability to actually find your own trends, right? And so that's something that we're really excited about, and that will be supported in a lot of countries. I mean, mostly any country that we can legally get data from will be supporting that country. Yes, so I would say we're similar to Topic Mojo. With the insights we're working on, especially with industry trends, will be very similar, but I think what's going to ultimately set us apart is Trend Explorer. Will you be able to search trends in China? So this is something that we've looked into. It's really hard to get data from China. And so there's not really a lot of tools that we've seen that will allow us to get data that we really think are reliable. So I mean, it's something that we would like to do, and we'll add it to our list. I think it just depends on how technologically feasible. This feels more like a keyword research tool. I'm not sure I saw much about dropshipping. Yeah, sure. So this is kind of what I get into before, where a lot of people really focus when they say they're drop shipping, they focus on drop shipping tools. And just from my experience, that's really kind of the whole point of this conversation, is the wrong way to approach product research. Again, when you work with very large businesses at scale, they don't care about, hey, in the short term, what are some quick things that we can sell and flip? And so drop shippers, you can use this tool if you'd like to kind of figure out what products you should be selling and trending. But we want to make sure that when you're doing product research, you're not just focused on the use case, right? That's what I talk about. You're not focused on the platform. So let me go back here to this slide, right? So you don't develop a product to dropship or develop a product for Amazon. You're focusing on trends that can do well on every single platform, with the goal being that, yes, you can dropship this product as you want, but you also have the ability to branch out, and these products will be successful on every single platform. And drop shipping products usually have a very short life cycle. You know, you could sell them for maybe a couple of months and they start to die down. You want to be building a real business and sell real products that can actually make you money for years to come and really be a true innovator and disruptor in a space. And so to be able to do something like that, you need to make sure you're understanding these trends and not, oh, hey, what are our competitors selling that's really hot right now? Because the reality is that product might not exist yet, or it's not on AliExpress, or, you know, you might need to do a little bit more digging to making sure that you're able to sell these products that can actually make you, like I said, you know, 6, 7, 8 figures. That's something you can really build a real brand off of, instead of more of these, you know, you're trying to test a quick drop shipping product. Maybe it doesn't work out, and kind of this mass testing kind of scheme where you're wasting a lot of money on marketing instead of really taking the time upfront to understand trends. Would be great if you could integrate dropshipping tools as part of Keylitic. Great research and great dropshipping platform. Yeah, so DM me if there's any kind of integrations you guys would like. Again, let me know privately what some of those platforms might be. And that's something we can absolutely do. So I hope that answers your question. Are there any more questions or comments, or you guys have generally that you'd like me to discuss?
So I like this quote, don't develop your products for, you know, just focusing on the Amazon. You just develop your product so that you can sell it across all the e-commerce side across globe. Do not just focus on the Amazon products, because you can sell it there for 5 months, 6 months, 1 year, 2 year, 5 years, but down the line, your product will go down, right? So just think from a different angle, be an entrepreneur, or be a businessman, so that you can develop a product, you know, by seeing the trend which is happening around the globe, and develop a product which can sell it across the globe, not just on the Amazon. Yeah, I like it.
From all the large businesses I've worked with, I've never heard one person say, "Hey, well, can we drop ship this? Would this be good for Shopify? Would this be good for Amazon?" That's really the law. If you're trying to build a business that, like a real business that can really scale and make real money, and you can be in stores. No one's ever asked me, and I would correct them if they did. Well, hey, can you integrate, or can you tell me more about this drop shipping tool, or can we do something more with Amazon? I mean, the answer is yes, we can do that if that's helpful for you guys. But to really make sure you're approaching research not from a platform level, but from a product level. And that's why I think a lot of the advice we see now from these guru drop shipping spaces is, yes, it's good advice if you're trying to get like some flash in the pan sales. But if you're trying to build a real sustainable business, and I'm saying I've worked with really large businesses and helped build large businesses, like powerhouses that have staying power. They're not using these drop shipping tools. They're not using these Amazon tools. They're taking a market approach first. They're really conducting research from a demand level first, and then you can go in deeper with some of these tools if there's any specific products maybe that you think are interesting. Absolutely. But definitely start bigger picture and think more from a demand perspective, and not platforms, not from a platform perspective.
Awesome. So guys, if you have any questions regarding the product that just we have shown to you, so please write your question and queries in the Q&A section so that we can answer it right now. And those who are joining late, or if you don't know about this product that we have shown, I would like to tell you that we have a lifetime deal which is going on PitchGround.com. I'll just share my screen and I can showcase you about the deal which is right now happening. Let me share my screen.
I stopped my share.
Yeah,
so
you need to stop your screen sharing, I guess.
Yeah, I just stopped my screen share, so you should be able to jump in.
Yeah, can you guys see my screen?
Yeah, I can, yes.
Yeah, so guys, this is the deal which is currently going on PitchGround.com. So the product that we have explained you is on lifetime deal. So I can tell you the plans. So we have 4 plans right now here. So plan A is for $49. You no need to pay monthly fees to Keylitic to use all the features that we have shown to you right now in the webinar. So you just need to pay once and the product is yours. You can use it for lifetime. So in the plan A, you'll be getting 1 user and 30 saved searches in Trend Explorer, and industry trained. That would be a standard. Is there anything like standard or premium like that?
Yeah, so the reason I can talk about some of these things if you'd like.
Yeah, definitely. Go ahead.
Sure. So yeah, eventually what we probably are going to wind up doing is for more of our higher tiers, like our researcher tier and our enterprise tier, people actually have the ability to request from us trends they'd like to find in those industries. So like what you just saw was our standard industry trends. So like these are just trends that we have found in specific industries. But if you want your own personal dashboard, things that are relevant to your industry, this would be more of a custom option, but is not something that would be available through this plan. And I think this is actually a good segue to talk about the next thing, which is intelligence requests. So intelligence request is on a quote basis. So basically that means you guys send us a request. It can be anything. So say, for example, hey, can you guys really help me do product research for my drop shipping store? Can you guys help me do market research in, market X? Can you guys help me with our SEO optimizations on our product pages? We have a pretty full service scope of things we do. I mean, marketing strategy. If a lot of you guys are drop shipping, this wouldn't be totally relevant to you, but supply chain and logistics. So helping you try to figure out how to get your distribution networks in place. And so you send us a request and it's on a quote basis. So we'll let you know how much something like that would cost. But whatever that would normally cost, because you got this deal for plan A, for example, we would just slash off 10% on whatever that is. And so this is really useful for agencies too, because we have a lot of agencies that we partner with where we provide even white label services, meaning we'll make a report and then we'll put your logo on it and then you can sell it to your clients for you. Or, if you're a growing agency and you don't have the bandwidth or maybe even the expertise to do some of the research we do. Because we have a lot of tools in the back end, like Keylitic is kind of just the front end of some of our tool, but on the back end, we're able to really leverage our technology in a lot of deep ways so that we can do these for you. So what's the typical cost of an intelligence request? So honestly, it just depends on the scope of what your request is and how in-depth it is. To try and give you a ballpark, some of the lower dollar amounts we've done has been in like the $200 range, for example. Some of the higher ends is 5 figures, like $10,000 plus. It really depends how deep of a research scope it is. So if the thing is just, hey, can you guys tell me what's trending in this industry, we'd make a nice little report for you. That'd be a couple $100, wouldn't be anything crazy. But if you need help with deep research and then a marketing strategy, launch plan, logistics, if you really need a full package thing where we need to get a lot of team members on it and a lot of different research that we need to do and a lot of work, then that's something that would be more higher cost. But it is a quote basis. So if you do need help with something, like I said, just it's worth at least asking us, sending a request, letting us know what it is, and then we'll slash 10%. And if it's not in your cost range, there's no guarantee, there's no commitment that you have to use it, of course. And then if we are too expensive or we're not the right solution, we'll at least try and point you in the right direction. And so I want to be very clear about that. Even if you're not a customer of Keylitic and you have any questions for me, my DMs on Twitter are open. I'm more than willing to answer any questions you guys have, not just about Keylitic, but about product research in general. I'm a really big proponent on educating people and empowering people. And so even if there are other tools, for example, like I've talked about exploding topics. So like if there's other tools that I think you guys could recommend that might be better for your use case than Keylitic, then I'd be very honest about that because I want to make sure that you guys are succeeding. So for our Discord access, this is something where we have a Discord up right now, but we're going to be getting it much more involved soon. It's also going to be baked into our platform so that you guys can talk. If you're a dropshipper, you can talk to fellow dropshippers. You can talk to, all these kinds of different people that are relevant to your community or relevant, that are in that kind of similar situation as you. So we're doing a little bit of community development there. So the last thing I want to talk about, the last two plans, if you want to scroll down to some of the later plans there, because a lot of these, like Plan B, some of these others, they're very similar. They just kind of get you more seats. So if you have a larger team, for example, you can get more people or you get more searches. But I believe it's Plan D and Plan E. So these are the ones right here where, first of all, you're getting more of our premium packages. So you're going to be on our researcher tier, which just means more searches, and eventually on industry trends, that will mean more countries as well. Because right now it's just United States, but we're going to be adding countries very soon. But something that's really good on plan D and plan E is it gives you guys the ability to actually have a consult with me one-on-one directly. And so if you need training on product research, something even more in depth than what we did on this call today, then we can sit down and I can train you and your organization on how to do product research. Or even if it's not product research, hey, can you review our store? Can you review of our product line? We just really need some guidance and consulting. Those plan D and plan E really allow you to do that. So plan D is a 1-hour consult, and the other plan is a 2-hour consult. If we run a little bit over time, it's not a big deal. I'm not going to be, timing us or anything. So whatever, if you guys really need that like mentor type support, then I'm more than willing to do that. So country tier will not be for all plans. So for Trend Explorer, no matter what plan you're in, all countries are going to be available for that. So if you do need to do research for a specific country, you will have that option, no matter what plan you're on. For industry trends, that would be country specific, and we're going to roll those out gradually. The reason being is because obviously there's a lot of technological resources that are involved in building a curated database in the country. And so the costs on our end can get pretty expensive. And so we need to make sure we're only supporting countries that have a lot of demand on that industry trends feature on the database side. And then making sure that it makes financial sense for us, of course, to do something like that. But to answer your question, on Trend Explorer, no matter what tier you're in, you're going to have full access to all countries you want to do for the research that you need to do. So that will be available no matter what plan you buy.
Awesome. So Trend Explorer is included in all the plans, whether you're going for a smaller plan or the larger plan. So smaller plan starts with $49 for lifetime. Then we have a plan B that is $97 for lifetime. So the difference between these two smaller plan is the seats. Okay. So in the plan A, you'll be getting only one seat, that is one user. And there are some, restriction on the Trend Explorer, that is you will be having 30 saved searches on the Trend Explorer feature. And in the plan B, you'll be having 100 saved searches per user. That is not for, entire account. So this thing we need to note it down here. So 100 saved searches per user. If you're having 3 users, for example, then you'll be having 300 searches in the plan B. Am I right, Jack?
That is 100% correct. We have a question from Charles. If we delete a saved search, we can replace with another search. That is correct. And so this works as more as like a save feature right now anyway. So we will be, though, soon transitioning to a monthly basis. So that's why I say get in right now and use as much of the searches as you can. But eventually, yeah, this will be a monthly search. If there was plans I could recommend for you guys, kind of just based on your use case, if you're just starting out, you're a drop shipper, or you're, some of these, you're a one-man band, I still would recommend that plan B, because that gives you the flexibility to really do the research that you need to do. And I think it's something that as we grow, you're going to get the most value out of that second plan right there. If you're an agency and you have, a growing business and you have multiple clients, that's when I'd recommend either those D or those E plans, first of all, so you can get more of a discount on our intelligence, so that if you basically want to be drop shipping research services, and then we do the research for you, and then you make money on that. We have some people that like to do that. So it just makes more margin there. And also, as you're growing, you're going to have multiple clients, which is going to mean multiple projects. And so coming soon to Trend Explorer, also, you'll be able to organize searches on a project level, and you'll be able to do research collaboratively as part of a team. So that's where I would recommend, if that's your use case, some more of that, either plan D or plan E, kind of depending, where you're at. But those are kind of just based on your use case, what I think makes the most sense, probably, in my opinion.
Right. And if you have higher usage, then you can go for a plan C, plan D, and plan E. So in the plan E, you will be having many features compared to the plan A and plan B. So if you have, if you have a dedicated team, or if you are into a product research or product development field, and if you have a larger team, or if you are an agency, then these plans might be suitable for you. Plan C and plan B, if you are a larger user, and if you have different clients, if you're working with different clients, then this is a suitable plan for you. Yeah, so I'm sharing this link in the comment section or chat section, so you can let me stop screen sharing. I'm sharing this link in the chat section so that you can jump in and see
Yes.
what is this
Yeah,
sharing about.
I do see a couple more questions too. I can answer. So this is kind of the similar. Can we delete previous save search to reuse the slot? The answer to that was yes. Below that, are users just login accounts into the same workplace so they're a finer grain of control for users? Yeah, so this is what I was talking about before. This will be coming up very soon. So if you're in a tier, that researcher tier where you have multiple accounts, it is going to be there would be like an admin access to that one person. You can add team members. That makes sense for however many people in your team, you can add them. But that would eventually be the same workspace that is collaborative. So all of you guys would be able to do research, your own independent research that's organized in one space and together. And I said, you guys can organize those by project or by person. So that, again, this isn't live yet. This is something we are currently actively working on. And we should hopefully have this rolled out. We're thinking within probably the next 3 to 4 weeks. So it's something that's coming down the pipeline very soon. I just had a meeting yesterday with our UX designer, and we're kind of finalizing the design of the screens, and the technology is already built. So, it's just a matter of time before we get it up and running. But yeah, so eventually it will be a same workplace, and there will be a finer grain of control, kind of depending on if you're an admin and then what you want certain people to do. But again, if there's a feature here that you're not seeing, that's a deal breaker for you, we're never going to know to add it if you don't tell us what you want to see, which is why what I'm going to do really quickly is I'm going to drop the roadmap in the chat here. And so I want you guys, if you're interested, to actually look at what we have in the pipeline. And if you don't see a feature that you guys really want, tell us so that we can actually build it. And this is what I talked about before about talking to your customers, right? We don't know what to add if you don't tell us. So look at that roadmap. You can see what we're working on right now is a very, very long list of things we're working on right now. And in consideration are things that of requests we've got from people, but we're not actually working on it yet. But if you want us to start working on them, vote on them, comment on them, let us know why you're interested in this feature. That's really helpful for us. You can't see the link to the roadmap. It's in the chat. Did you not? I dropped it in the Zoom chat. You don't see it? It's actually above your chat right there. It's the Trello link.
Let me share it because I think so you DM'd me directly. Yeah.
Oh, is it a DM? That could be why. Oh, sorry guys. There, I said that's a DM. Okay. Yeah. So there's the link. And so yeah, like I said, let us know if there's a feature that you want to see or improvements that need to be made. Like I said, our number one focus right now is just improving the product, improving the performance, the speed, the usefulness. And so, like I said, if something is not right now, or you think things are too slow, or you didn't get the insights you want, you have a lifetime deal and we're going to fix it. So let us know what it is you want to see added. And I mean, all of these features we're adding right here in the in progress section, this is a really long list. That was only possible because people said, hey, can you add this functionality? Can you add this feature? And so right now, like, for example, we don't have anything in our in consideration column for third-party integrations. So that's a card. Actually, you know what I'm going to do for you guys? I'm going to add that card right now. So third-party integrations. So I just added that in the in consideration. So if you guys want to go to that card and let us know, first of all, vote on it, but then in the comments, let us know what third-party integrations you guys want to see so that we can look into adding those.
Awesome. So all the questions answered, or so?
Yeah, do you guys have any more questions? And if you do have any questions and your question's not answered right now, like I said, you can email us at team@keylitic.com or me at jack@keylitic.com. Or you can just DM me on Twitter at MarcheseJack or at Keylitic. One last question. I guess this is the last question we'll take here, and then we'll wrap it up.
Yeah. Sure.
Should add keyword search volume so that we can understand what's really loud or otherwise. So I'm assuming I don't understand the question. Do you mean add keyword volume for the prepositions? I think you had mentioned that before, right? Adding keyword volume to the prop. Okay, got it. Yeah. So you know what? Just for you, I'm going to make that card right now in our roadmap. So we'll say add search. My developer is going to love me. He loves when I make him do more things. Add search volume metrics to prepositions. All right, so I just added that card as well. But again, it's if enough of you guys vote on it, then we'll prioritize it. So yeah, that's something that we could certainly do. And one thing I will say right now, though, very quickly about that is that actually that list, even though we don't do a good job of communicating it, actually is organized in demand. So if something is at the top of the list in that preposition column, that means it does have more demand. We're not showing specific search volume, obviously right now, but that is something that, like I said, we do have the capability to probably do and we can do, but just keep that in the back of your mind when you're using it. If something's at the top of the list in that means it has more demand than something that's lower on that list. So do keep that in mind as well, but we can discuss, I can discuss that with my team.
Awesome. Thank you for taking all the session and adding into your Trello board. This is really awesome. Yeah, so guys, if you haven't checked the lifetime deal, I'm again sending the link in the chat box so that you can go and check it out. And also I want to tell you one more thing, that we have started our Discord server and we are adding some values there, and there are some exclusive giveaways as well. So do not forget to join us on the Discord as well. I'm sending that invite in the chat box, and that invite is there. Yeah, let's just send it. Please do join us on the Discord as well.
All right, great. Yeah, I think first of all, I really want to thank you guys for first of all listening to me gab for so long and talk. I hope this was valuable for you guys and you learned something. Again, even if you decide to not use Keylitic, hopefully I've equipped you guys with some resources to really think about how to approach product research, how large and real businesses are approaching product research. And then again, if you guys want to see the books I recommend or anything like that, just shoot me a DM. And I just want to thank PitchGround and all the listeners again for asking me great questions, giving us some suggestions on features we can add. And yeah, I mean, this was a lot of fun, and I know we'll be doing it again. I still had to look at my schedule. We were thinking possibly late February, early March. So, if you guys want to, if you want me to add anything to that next presentation, DM me as well. If there's something you guys want me to talk about more in depth, I can certainly do that as well. I just want to make sure we're creating as much value as possible for you guys. Like I said, even if you're a customer or not. But yeah, I think I've said all I need to say. So I just want to thank you guys so much for joining and listening in.
Yeah. And Jack, please do share the recommended books that you have just shown us on the slides in the community, Facebook community, so that, other people will also get value out of it.
Sure. Okay. I can absolutely do that.
Yeah. And guys, if you want to, give suggestions or recommendation on the product improvement, please join our community. Jack will be posting there, and you can ask direct questions there, and Jack will be, do answers of all sort of questions of the queries, and whatever suggestions or, feedback that you want to give it to the Keylitic team, you can do it there right now.
Alrighty.
I think so. It's saying invalid invite. Let me do it again. Yeah, check it out. If it is not working, I have to do it again. Give me 1 second. Let me create an invite link for you guys. Right there.
If you guys too want to join our Discord, just let me know and I can send you that link. And then we could be connected in multiple community. I'm actually, I'll join the Discord as well. Why not? Let's get in the PitchGround Discord here. Oh yeah, it says invite invalid. Yeah, I am seeing that as well.
Yeah, okay, let me create a new link. Yeah, it's there. Yeah, I sent you. Check it out whether that.
Very cool. I'm in. So yeah, so if you guys want to message me on Discord too, you can do that.
Just 1 second. I've sent you the link, but that will land you in this some different channels. Let me give you the important one. Yeah, here is the last one. Important link. Yeah, I just tagged as important link. So,
There we go.
yeah, so you can verify yourself and land into the right channel. Awesome. Would you like to share your Discord invite as well, Jack?
Say that again.
Would you like to share your Discord community invite as well?
Yeah, so I need to try to find it. So what I'll do, because it's supposed to be only for people who buy, but if you guys, but people who came to the chat, I do want to give you guys some kind of reward. So I have no issue doing that. But what I will do, if you guys just DM me, I will send you the link that way. Just like it's not floating around and whatever. So I just want to make sure if you guys were in this chat, I will let you guys into our Discord, which is not super active yet. But we will get there. So yeah, like I said, just shoot me a DM and I'll send you guys that free access. So just for joining, you guys can have a little bit of a reward that way.
Yeah. Thank you. And guys, it's right now giveaway time. Are you guys ready for giveaways? Just type yes in the comment. Steph is very active in the chat. Yeah. So,
yes, the MVP.
Yeah. So yeah. So let's start. What you have to do is you need to type, and I'll say that word. Okay. You need to type that word in the comment, and whoever is typing first, that person will be winning a giveaway. Okay, I'm not going to reveal what is that giveaway. You need to share your email with me. Okay, private chat, and I'll dropping you an email stating all the giveaways that you own and everything about that. Okay, so here we go. 1, 2, 3, start. You need to type Keylitic. Oh my God, he is cheating. I guess he's cheating. He just he's cheating. He knows. I think so. He has already copied and just pasted. I cannot see that someone is typing that much fast. Really, it was really fast. And yeah, it was really fast. Okay, Steph, you own a giveaway. I'm not revealing right now what is that giveaway is. Just DM me your email ID so that I can send you the details of all about the giveaways. Just DM me that so that I can copy your email. He was really quick, really fast, man. Yeah, I didn't receive.
All right, I have a meeting a little bit, so I do have to run. Is there any kind of last questions, comments, anything like that before I have to run? Like I have to meet with my team and I'll let them know all the fun new features that you guys have requested. And we'll get into that. So I'm sure you guys will be excited to hear that.
Okay. Thank you, Jack. Thank you for joining us and educating us how the trend analysis work and what the drop shippers or the Amazon sellers has to focus it on and do the product development and do the keyword research, product research, by seeing the trends around the globe. Thank you for taking time and showing us the product that is Keylitic. And guys, do not forget to check it out, the lifetime deal, which is right now happening on PitchGround.com, and the pricing are insane. Go ahead and check it out, all the deals. If you have any questions, please do join us, join our communities, the Discord one and the FB community. And if you have any questions, suggestions regarding the product, regarding the deal, please feel free to tag us in your comments so that we can answer all the queries and the questions. And thank you for joining us. Have a nice day, Jack, and thank you all for joining us, tuning in for this webinar and listening us from start till the end. And Steph, congratulations on winning one giveaway. And please send me your email so that I can send you all the details regarding the giveaway. Thank you, guys. So we are wrapping up this session. Have a good day and keep joining us and keep learning new things and keep growing 2% every day.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.